What's up, guys? Mr. Lee Redmond here with episode number 25 of the Unemployment Challenge. I have now played the next 10 games of the season with Distillery, and it has gone pretty appalling, to be quite honest with you. As you can see right here, it's gone absolutely atrocious. We've won one game in a section, so we'll go straight into the fixtures to get this bit over and done with. Irish Cup second round, we lost away to Crumlin, Northern Ireland, an actual non-league team. Samuel Garrett put them one up in the 42nd minute. David Gallagher did equalise for us just after half time, but with 12 minutes to go, William Hill scored to put Crumlin 2-1 up. They held on to take the win. 8 shots each. They had 3 on target to my 1, and I had 52% possession. We then lost 3-2 home to Bangor. Daniel Tanuti put Bangor 1 up in the 42nd minute, and they were 1 up at half time, but Gallagher pulled us level right after half time and just 60 seconds later. On the Armour, Stuart Brennan put us 2-1 up, but just 3 minutes later, however, Jim Wadsworth equalised for Bangor. And with 15 minutes to go, Simon McIlvin put through his own net to give Bangor a 3-2 win. 19 shots to 17 in Bangor's favour. They had 9 on target to my 7, and they had 51% possession. They then won 5-2 in Knockbreda. Sorry, we lost 5-2 in Knockbreda. Brian McIntyre put Knockbreda 1 up in the 38th minute. Darren Coyle then made it 2-0 just 3 minutes later. We went into half time 2-0 down. And then just 2 minutes after half time, Darren Coyle put Knockbreda 3-0 up. Martin Ryan pulled it back to 3-1 just 4 minutes later. About 3 minutes after that, Gavin Patterson put Knockbreda 4-1 up. David Gallagher pulled us back to 4-2. This was all 15 minutes after David Black had been sent off. And just 6 minutes ago, Knockbreda made it 5 to give him the win. 16 shots to 7 in their favour. They had 6 on target to my 4, and they had 60% possession. We then lost 6-4 home to Malachines. I'm not quite sure how you say that, to be honest. James C. Thompson put Malachines 1-0 up in the 12th minute. Rafferty equalised in the 20th to make it 1-1. David Gallagher put us 2-1 up in the 28th minute, but Joe Doherty put for his own net to make it 2-2 at half time. James C. Thompson puts Malachines 3-2 up just after the half time, but Gary Rafter made a level for 3-0 just 6 minutes later. As you can see, went all nuts after that. George Bennett put them 4-3 up. He then made it 5-3 for Gerald Sinclair. Toby made it 5-4, but then 2 minutes later, Bennett scored again to make it 6-4. So 4 goals in 4 minutes. 14 shots to 11 in my favour. We had 8 each on targets, and they had 53% possession. And then in the Still and Sons Cup final, we lost 2-1 to Kilmore Rec. Matthew Hines in the 26th minute put Kilmore 1-0 up, and we were 1-0 down at half time. Gary Rafter equalised just 6 minutes into the second half from the penalty spot, but Paul Heatley in the dying seconds gave Kilmore the win and the trophy. 12 shots to 6 in their favour. They had 4 on target to my 2, and they had 52% possession. We then lost 3-1 at home at Queen's University. Tom Burt put them 1 up in the 3rd minute, and just 9 minutes before half time, Ryan McAree made it 2-0. Rhys O'Toole made it 3-0 just before the hour mark, and then David Gallagher did pull one back in added on time. It was 18 shots to 7 in our favour. I had 5 on target to their 4, and they had 60% possession. We then got our first point of the section with a 1-1 draw at Churchill United. Mark Stewart put Churchill 1-0 up just 6 minutes before half time, but with 8 minutes to go, Stuart Brennan pulled us level to give us our first point. 14 shots to 12 in Churchill's favour. I had 5 on target to their 4. That's 50% possession. We then got our first win of the section, 3-2 win at Ballymacash. David Gallagher put us 1-0 up in the 15th minute. 10 minutes later, David Black made it 2, and we were 2-0 up at half time. Sammy McCauley made it 2-1, and then just 3 minutes later, Kevin Curran made it 2-2. But Stuart Brennan put us back in front just 2 minutes later to give us the 3 points. 11 shots to 12 in their favour. I had 5 on target to their 4, and they had 57% possession. We then drew 3-3 at Ballymena. Mark Stitt put them 1-up in the 23rd minute. David Callagher equalised for us 10 minutes before half time. We were 1-1 at half time. Gary Rafferty put us 2-1 up, and then 5 minutes later he made it 3. Aaron Wright pulled one back just 2 minutes later to make it 3-2, and then 5 minutes after the hour mark the comeback was complete for Ballymena as Kieran O'Hara made it 3-3. It was 9 shots to 7 in Ballymena's favour. They had 6 on target to my 4. Don't know why I clicked out like that. And they had 54% possession. We then lost 2-1 at home to Newry City AFC. Neil Mercer put them 1-up in the 62nd minute. Just 5 minutes later, Alan Craig made it 2-0. Warner O'Kane was injured in the 83rd minute. We pulled one back just 3 minutes later, but we couldn't get another goal despite Ryan Keane being injured in this 96th minute. Newry FC run out 2-1 winners. 18 shots to 9 in their favour. We both had 4 each on target, and they had 53% possession. We then lost 2-0 home to Ballyclare. Philip Shaw put Ballyclare 1-up in the 35th minute, and then just 20 minutes ago Tommy Mann made it 2-0 to give Ballyclare all 3 points. There's 8 shots to 12 in my favour. They had 4 on target to my 2, and they had 52% possession. We then drew 2-2 at home to Dunley in the last game of the section. Simon Kennedy put us 1-0 up in the 19th minute. Just 10 minutes later, Chris Middleton made it 1-1. 60 seconds after that, however, Callagher put us 2-1 up, and we were 2-1 up at half time. But 7 minutes ago, Jim Paul equalised for Dunley to make it 2-2, and we end the section with a point. 11 shots each, we had 4 each on target, and I had 57% possession. So all in all, a shocking section, going out in the Irish Cup second round, losing the Stillwell Suns Cup final, and only winning 1 game of the entire section. And as you can see, we are 12, 4 points clear of Dunloy, who are in the final relegation zone. Stats wise, Callagher is now leading goal scorer of the division of 4 UMIB with 16. We've then got him joint third with assists with 8, with Bailey from Barrowfield and McCree from Queens, and he's also got the second best shots on target ratio with 51%. So yeah, all in all, shocking section. I'm still stable in the job, not sure how. I think it might just have something to do with the Stills and Sons Cup competition that kept me going, I think, to be fair. So we lost the second round, which was annoying, and we actually would have played Churchill United in the next round. Interesting to see who's where. Quarterfinal. This is the main Irish Cup, so it's kind of interesting seeing some of those teams there, especially I know from BT1. So yeah, not too great, to be honest. So finances: 330,000 in debt, 386,000 in debt at the end of the season. A couple of my players are wanted. Tobin is wanted by Glebe, Lisbello and Windmill Stars. I only heard of Glebe, to be fair. Joe Doherty is wanted by Banbridge and Newington. I've heard of Banbridge. And Bainbridge is wanted by Bangor. And my leading goal scorer, Callagher, is wanted by Tanragi. However you say that. But that is it for this episode, guys. Leave some likes. Well, not too sure if that's the case, but there you go. Leave some likes, leave some comments, subscribe. Would appreciate it all. Tune in next time for an end of season review. See how we get on. Hopefully we will stay up. I think it shouldn't be too much of a problem. You never know. I am only 4 points clear, and I have lost to Queen's University, who are bottom. I might have even lost both games to them, to be fair. Let's have a look. Where are they? Oh yeah, we only played each other twice, so I'm not quite sure why I'm checking that. And Dunloy, obviously, I've drawn with. I think I'd be in the first section. Yeah, 1-1-0. So that's it. So hopefully we can do that. But that's it, guys. So that's the end of the episode. So as always, guys, take it steady.